5.9 thousand subs right now. I wonder how much subs I have later.
You okay?
Peace out.
Yo. Hey, that's fire.
If you don't believe in yourself, then who's going to believe in you? And I think that was one of the benefits of being an athlete that was always overlooked, in my opinion. It forced me to work harder. It forced me to put my head down.
And I work harder now than I did when I was poor. And I think it's because I've learned to enjoy it.
You need to love pain. However, mentally, physically, love it. You need to love it. If not, stay where you are.
The advice I would give to my 20-year-old self would be to work harder. You know, even when it feels like the work isn't matter, it will matter.
Your behavior is ultimately all that matters. So if you make all the right decisions, but you have, like, you absolutely think that it's impossible for you, but you still do the right things, you will win. Winning
requires you to go so far deep inside yourself. It's way beyond the surface. It's way beyond internal. It's going to a place that a lot of people haven't visited in a long, long time because they're afraid to visit that person, because when they visit that person, they don't know who that person is anymore.
When no one's watching, I work harder than when they're watching. And thinking about it like that has given me this persistent and ever-present scorecard or third party that's like, no one's watching, which means now you have to work, because otherwise you're full of shit.
The reason people change is because of pain. The reason we grow is because we get uncomfortable and we embrace being uncomfortable. But being honest with the pain that we feel is usually the prime mover for people to do the work that is necessary to push to the edge.
For you to find who you are, people ask, what's my purpose? Why am I here? You're not gonna find it nowadays unless you lock yourself in a quiet room in your mind and find it.
Without that work ethic, you know, greatness cannot be achieved. So you've got to really love what you're doing. You have to just go at it wholeheartedly. You've got to put everything into it. You've got to obsess over it.
Most of us will do things to ourselves that we don't do to the outside world. We'll say, hey, I'm gonna go to bed at 10 o'clock tonight. I get in bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go to bed at 10 o'clock tonight now. I get in bed at 11:30. I'm gonna work out the first thing tomorrow morning. I get up, I get on my phone, I miss the workout. You keep breaking promises to yourself, and that is the most detrimental thing for our psyche.
We don't rise to the standards we have when others are watching. We fall to the standards we have when no one is watching. The only work that really matters is the work that no one sees. It shows you who you really are rather than who you say you are.
Emmett Smith said this at the end of the commercial. Emmett Smith said, all men are created equal. Some work harder in preseason.
Do you work smart or do you work hard? It's you do both. You do as many reps as you possibly can, and you do it with the most leverage possible. So if I make 100 phone calls, the leverage that I can have there would be how skilled I am. So if I make 100 calls, I might get 10 times more. And so I worked more, I had more output than somebody who has less skill. But the only way you get skilled is by doing more inputs, by working more. And so it's this virtuous cycle of doing more and getting better, and then you get more for what you do.
To transform, you have to care, even when no one else does. Because if you don't care, and if you're not willing to pay the piper, if you're not willing to put in the work, you're never going to change.
When I think about how hard I want to work, the interesting thing about that is that the only person who can judge you on your success is you, because you're the only one who knows how much left in the tank you really had.
All the stuff that you talk about, of pain being the motivator, all of that, all of my success is predicated on misery, period. And you talk about the need to, you don't use the words rock bottom, but I'll use that because that's how it felt for me. I needed to hit rock bottom in order to put in the work, in order to be so desperate that I had to let go of my old way of thinking about myself. I had a fixed mindset, and I didn't have these words at the time, but this is me now looking back. It was a binary choice between depression or a growth mindset. And I didn't know if a growth mindset was real. I just knew it was different than the depression that I was racing towards.
There's always someone out there who's working harder than you. I'm haunted by that motherfucker.
Just getting started. Come on, somebody out there sitting working harder than you. Somebody working hard. Somebody working hard. Hurry up, let's go. Monday, get better. Tuesday, get better. Wednesday, get better.
I have to ask this guy. Like, I have to understand, like, why he works like that. Right. So after games, I'm like, hey, Kobe, like, why were you in the gym for so long? He's like, because I saw you come in. And I wanted you to know that it doesn't matter how hard you work, that I'm willing to work harder than you.
You gotta be the hardest workers in the room. No one will outwork me. No one. I don't give a fuck who is in front of me. They're not gonna stop me. At some point, you gotta be fucking tired of not being number one. You have to be, and you gotta fucking play angry.
Dedication, hard work, dedication, hard work. I'm a one-man army. One-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still come on top.
You have to pay the price. And not only do you have to pay the price, you gotta pay the price well. Meaning, the actions you take have to be executed at a high level. Like, this is not that hard to understand. You just don't want to understand it. You want it to be that you can f off half the time and still get where you want to go. And that just doesn't work. The mentality should be like this. How the f do I get there? Period.
Bro, you gotta f***ing stop. You gotta stop with all this I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. F***ing something.
You've got to put in the work when nobody cares. There's only one person who has to care. That's you.
You gave me an opportunity to reinvent myself. You gave me an opportunity to come out of my grave that you put me in. You left me for dead. I'm coming out alive.
There's a price tag to success. You don't just get it overnight. You got to earn it the right way.
You need to work harder. You have to suffer a little bit. You have to put yourself in a state of discomfort. Growth shouldn't be easy. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking to make things a breeze. You've got to learn to suffer. You've got to put yourself in a bit of an uncomfortable position.
And you may not feel qualified. You may not feel like you are educated enough. You may not feel like you're connected enough. You may not think that enough people are aware of you, cognizant of you, because you don't have a blue check and you're not a celebrity yet. But you got to work hard in silence. You gotta work when nobody's watching.
I will do the work when I'm tired. I will do the work even if I'm sick. I will do the work even if I didn't sleep well. I will do the work even if I don't feel like it. I will do the work if it's cold outside. I will do the work if it's too hot. I will do the work if no one else wants to do it with me, because I am driven by purpose.
People want to jump from day 1 to day 10 by getting some big seed money or big investment. And dude, I don't care how much money I've made. I try to pretend like I'm broke every single day in the way that I think, because it forces me to create new solutions and innovate in my brain. It's about taking an idea, it's about executing on the idea, and it's not about having the perfect plan. It's about your ability to adjust and create and improvise your way through this path.
Even though you may feel stuck, even though you may feel hopeless, you're not broken. You have patterns of thinking and patterns of behavior that are broken for where you are and where you want to go in life. When you start to think about changing your life through the lens of just looking for patterns, breaking them and replacing them, it becomes less personal.
Hard work is the goal. And so it's not like work hard so that X, because as soon as you have a so that, then the X is the thing. But if the goal is to work as hard as you possibly can, then the only real output we have is who we become along the way.
The most important question to ask is, what pain do you want in your life? What are you willing to struggle for? Anything worthwhile is going to require some degree of pain and struggle. So, if you're oriented toward the pain and the struggle, you're probably going to be more aligned with what you're capable of accomplishing, rather than if you just orient toward the pleasures.
No fundamental secret here. It's called hard work and sweat. If you had that and you're willing to provide that in exchange for a better life, well, everyone will make that deal with you. If you're willing to give up that for pride, accomplishment, feeling of self-worth, you're willing to make that transaction. Miami Fitness is your bank, and it's open every single day for your transactions. Make your deposits every fucking day. Do your dues. Become the person you want to be. It's the easiest fucking equation in the world.
Success leaves clues. There are millions of people in the world seeing grand success, and they're dropping breadcrumbs every fucking day. You just gotta pay attention to the steps. They're showing you a path to a better future. They're showing you a path to your goals and aspirations. You just gotta believe in you. You gotta be willing to say one day and then work as hard as you fucking can every day in order to make it happen. Because everything you want is in your mind. Everything that you want to achieve, you can do. You just gotta be willing to speak it. You gotta be willing to say it out loud. You gotta be willing to yell it into the fucking universe and then work towards it.
People say, "I must be nice for you." And you go, dude, fuck you. Like, if you could have seen how much criticism and hard work and lonely nights and all of this stuff when nobody was watching and I was unsure of myself, chronically miserable, and I criticized and all my friends took the piss out of me and I did all of these things. I had to go through all of that for you to now say, must be nice.
Time is the currency we're playing with in every moment of our lives. It's the center point of our influence. I talk about the roulette table of my life. It's the frame I think through where we wake up in the morning with these 24 chips. If you spend 8 hours sleeping, you wake up with 16 chips left. And how you place those chips on this roulette table that sits in front of us just before the wheel spins every day determines all of our outcomes in our lives. So I've chosen now to allocate 2 chips to this little piece here called fitness. The roulette table spins and I get my returns. As I went down that chapter, I realized that in the context of time and death, and time management, the most important question to answer, the fundamental, is discipline. How can I allocate more of these chips to the things that are in line with my values? Where does this thing called discipline come from if it underpins everything we do?
Because I believed that I can be a leading man. I believed that I could be another Clint Eastwood, or another Burt Reynolds, or another Warren Beatty, or whatever those characters were, Charles Bronson and so on. I believed that I could be those people. I said, there's enough room on that ladder that I can fit up there. And I looked back again and learned from what I learned in sports. In my case, in bodybuilding. It's all about the hard work that you put in.
Being the hardest worker in the room is about actually learning how to walk the walk when everyone else just wants to talk the talk. It's understanding that you are going to be exhausted and alone and in pain and struggling for years with no support, with no cheerleading squad, and nobody patting you on the back. This game isn't for everybody. But if you're willing to go through that pain and if you're willing to do the goddamn work, then you can put that badge on and call yourself the hardest worker in the room.
We don't rise to the standards we have when others are watching. We fall to the standards we have when no one is watching. The only work that really matters is the work that no one sees. It shows you who you really are rather than who you say you are.
Listen up. I know you're tired. I know you want to give up. I know your mind is drained. I know your body feels weak. But you gotta understand, there's so much more to you. There's so much greatness to you. There's so much realness to you. Don't quit now. Go get that work done. Earn your keep on this day and conduct your business.
Let me tell you something, my friend. The cause of your downfall will be because of you. Nobody else but you. You keep looking around, trying to place blame on things, people, everything else, instead of looking in the mirror at oneself and looking at who caused this in the first place. You close the door on yourself because you are afraid to look within yourself and see who did it, my friend. You are the one, but you have the key to unlock that door and become something more.
Because the truth is this. That one day, that goal, that dream, that reality that you crave so badly is going to come with a price. Now, are you willing to pay it?
If you just try to be pampered, and if you're trying to be soft, and if you're trying to be the victim and all stuff, you're not going to go anywhere. We need to get stronger.
The thing about transformation is you have to do it. You've got to put in the work when nobody cares. You know, nobody cared if I practiced. Nobody cared if I worked out. If you want to transform, you have to do the work if nobody cares. There's only one person who has to care, and that's you.
What's the least amount of sleep you played a game on?
0 sleep. It's like, kids, Natalia had a certain, health situation or what have you, and you're staying up all night, and then you got to go out and perform because fans don't know, teammates don't know, nor do they care, nor should they, that you've been up all night. You got to perform, right? And so you just got to go to work, man. It's respect. That's respect.
So why? You just sit back and you wait for somebody to pat you on the shoulder and say it's okay? At least you gave it your best. Your best ain't good enough. Your best don't work. You need to go beyond your best. You need to go beyond the level. You need to let the world know that you exist. You need to let the world know that you made different. You're built different. You're stronger. You're more passionate. You believe in yourself. When the rest of the world shut you down, you woke up the next day and you said, I got this. I do this. I breathe this. I am this. You can't stop me for who I am, what I am, who I am, and what I stand for. You don't belong in this world. You don't belong in my world of life. You don't belong in my world of person. You don't belong in my world of passion. You don't belong in my world of strength. You know why? Because you ain't strong enough. You're not willing enough. You're not passionate enough. And you know why I'm so passionate? Because the rest of the world don't understand my passion. The other world don't want my passion. They think my passion is too much. I'm going to give you a little bit more. You know why? Because passion is what makes me who I am today.
I think you're stronger than that. And I think you're capable of much, much more. So bring it out. Bring it out every single day that you live on this earth. Bring it out every single day that you open your eyes. Bring it out every single day. Bring out the best version of yourself, my friend, because we still have work to do.
See the pain as an opportunity. You gave me an opportunity to reinvent myself. You gave me an opportunity to come out of my grave that you put me in. You left me for dead. I'm coming out alive. I'm coming out kicking. I'm coming out swinging. You left me and thought I wouldn't overcome. You forgot about me. You let go and thought I couldn't survive it. But I'm here.
Come on. Get it. 17. You don't know me, son. Get it. 18. You don't know me, son. Get it. 19. You don't know me, son. Yeah. 20. You got some more in you. 21. Yeah. Get it again. Come on. We want to see it.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Nobody cares about you is something that was never made clear to me. And I mean that in the most positive, optimistic, inspiring, motivating way. Like, I think that, especially if you see yourself as a creative or you want to exist on YouTube or as a filmmaker, or as a musician, or as an artist, or a painter, or any of those things, like, you think that everybody's paying attention. And because of that, it kind of controls how you think. And even when I was young and fearless and nothing to lose, I was still so cognizant of, like, how are people going to react to this and what's the best way to do, like, I was so aware. And the reality is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you. And the sooner you accept that as a creative person, the sooner you're free. Like, you're totally free. Like, do exactly what feels right to you.
Wake up! Stop sleeping on yourself. Step into your authenticity. Step into your intelligence and your brilliance. Release your gift. God has given you something great. Release it.
Work! 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 Work, damn it! Work! 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 Work!
There's a price tag to success. You don't just get it overnight. You got to earn it the right way. And you got to have a little bit of patience. But it takes time. And sometimes that patience runs out. You don't feel like you got it anymore. You don't feel like you're worthy of it. You don't feel like you want to be here. You think what I'm saying right now doesn't even matter? I owe me.
So many people get upset with me when I talk about nobody cares about your feelings. There's injustice, but there's injustice for everybody. For some people, it's worked because I've pushed to them that nobody cares. Nobody cares about your problems because they have their own problems. And that's worked for some people. Like literally some people have emailed me and they're like, my life has changed because you pounded to me that nobody gives a fuck, nobody cares. So I was like, fuck, if that's true, the hell am I complaining for? And all of a sudden I stopped complaining and all of a sudden good shit started happening. So that works. The other thing that I think works the most, I think people have to drop people in their lives.
You need to work harder. You have to suffer a little bit. You have to put yourself in a state of discomfort. Growth shouldn't be easy. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking to make things a breeze. You've got to learn to suffer. You've got to put yourself in a bit of an uncomfortable position. And if you can do that, then the results that have eluded you, you'll start to see them.
This is where people win or lose. Folks, can you tell me what your hardest working day of the year was? Scream out the amount of hours you worked on the hardest working day. Say it on 3. Hang on, get that number in your head. Your hardest working day of the year. You ready? On 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Your hardest working day. You ready? Nobody cares about your hardest working day. What helps you win is your bottom 100 worst working days. Don't brag about the day you work so hard. I care about your bottom 100. That's where you lose, and that's where you win.
I know this is something you've never done before. And I know that you're fractured. And I know that it's cold. And I know that you're broken. And I know that you're weary. And I know that you're tired. And I know that you're confused. But on the other side of the cold, on the other side of the suffering, on the other side of the crawling, and the walking, and the crushing, there is purpose, there is destiny on the other side. But are you courageous enough to step into uncharted territory, to disappear for 30 days? I know it's cold, but are you courageous enough to step away? Do you have the faith enough? Are you daring enough? Are you bold enough? Are you radical enough in your hunger and your thirst to go after what it is that you believe is yours? Are you crazy enough? Goodbye negativity, goodbye gossip and drama, and those people hurting me. This is my life. So today, you start ready to change the world. Your gifts, your inventions, your passions, ready for a new beginning.
I just know when people go all in on the thing they love, magical things start to happen. Maybe it doesn't happen right away, but magical things start to happen. It's almost like, what if you obsessed and went all in on these things? What could you create?
We're running at 40%, most of us, because we're half in and half out. And it's not surprising because life is difficult. It's like, well, what if you were 90% in or 95% in or all in? Because you're all in anyways, right? It's a life and death game. No one gets out of this. Everyone dies. You might as well commit yourself.
We all live in our bubble. My therapist calls it the lifeboat. We all live in our lifeboat, right? But we're all on the same ocean. So depending on how good your lifeboat is, you will weather the storm or not.
Because if you're not willing to go in there and face yourself, you're not gonna find anything. You gotta live right here on surface, man, right here on surface.
Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it. Boy, that never goes out of style, does it? I mean, think about it. If you're gonna do something, if you've chosen to do something, whatever it is, easy, hard, if you give it your all and you don't half-ass it, win, lose, draw, get what you want, don't get what you want, whatever the outcome is, if you don't half-ass it, at least you're not gonna have to wonder, oh, would the outcome have been different?
I feel like we spend too much of our lives waiting on life to happen. Sometimes we need to start being the life instead of trying to see it.
This is my belief. When you go all in on something and you truly believe in your heart that this is what you're meant to do, and you let go of something, you're like, but I don't want to lose this, because what if they're going to be a great partner in the future? What if they're going to be a great parent? Well, they show these qualities that maybe they could work out for me. As opposed to, no, going all in on the thing that you know you're meant to do.
So is today the day, right? The biggest fear they have is making a mistake, right? They don't want to be seen as stupid. They don't want to lose status as a result of this decision. And so when we're dealing with that, it's making them understand that you don't need time to make a decision, you need information. But so many people are stuck in that same spot for why they're not taking action, whether it's selling a product or selling themselves.
Don't you get it? Through all the bumps in the road and the stormy weather, the heart of a champion they can never measure. That's why you have to be all in.
So if there is an ending to this world and there is somewhere to go and there's a judgment, you're gonna get there and you might see a chart. And that chart may tell you who the f you should have been. And now you get the rest of your life to think about that. Man, I could have lived a much better life if I just would have just suffered a little bit more. If I just would have went in that and realized I had so much more. But fear and the 40% and living here versus living here, being afraid, stop me.
I struggle. So that's the language I'm great at. So if I can break down things into a struggle language, now I make it the game winnable for everybody. And that's the goal, to make the game winnable for everybody who's bold enough to step into the batting cage. If you bold enough to do that, I was bold enough to jump in a goddamn 152-foot tank with sharks in Dubai. If you're bold enough to do it, there's an experience that comes from that. And that experience is so exhilarating, it will take you to the next level. Because now you keep chasing the next level of you. And that is when you start understanding life at a whole nother concept, when you start understanding that, yo, for the longest, I was just low-level living. I was low-level thinking.
There's going to be days when you're aching and tired and sore, and there's people in your family that are sick, and you're cynical and bitter, and you need a reason to get up, and you think, yeah, well, a little more heaven and a little less hell, maybe I can pull that off today and tomorrow and next week. And that's worth struggling forward for.
Let's play this out, right? It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Because if you keep repeating this habit, you're going to end up 5 years from now, you're going to look at your life the same way you're looking at it now and hating it.
But I just want to remind everybody that I didn't make a video to the world about anything about business until I was 35 years old. I'm very excited about this. I plan on doing this 4 to 5 times a week. We're looking to put the video up about 4 or 5 p.m. There's a whole lot of talking going on. How about more action? How about more execution? How about more paying prices for what your mouth is saying? That is what I hope you do.
Give more, go all in, be all in. Don't you get it? The victory is already yours. You just gotta claim it. You just gotta stake it. You just gotta bring it into life. And you cannot bring it into life if you're going halfway.
In order to get something we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. In order to get something we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. Right now, if you don't like your physique and you want a better one, what you are currently doing is not going to get it for you. You can't keep sleeping in and doing the same day after day, or you're gonna look the same for the rest of your life. If you want that supercar, but you're in a job right now that can't afford the supercar, you need to get out of it. In order to get things we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. You gotta switch it up.
Oftentimes, it feels like it is impossible, an insurmountable feat to get past the beating. But as long as I can feel it, I'm not in a state of paralysis. If you can feel it, you can move it. So I ask you the question. Sometimes I gotta look myself in the mirror and ask myself, is that all you got? Come on, you're prepared, you're conditioned, you've been beaten, you've been battered, you've been broken, you've been left for dead, but there's more because you're breathing and you feel it. So if you can feel it, you can push it, so push past. The truth of the matter is, that's not all you have. There's more left in you.
Be all in or be forgotten. Be all in or be a nobody. Be all in or be somebody that has absolutely no opportunity to leave a legacy on this world. Be all in or be somebody that nobody respects. Be all in or be somebody that leaves this earth with regrets.
I said to myself, who on this earth would still be going right now? You are. You are. I believed it. I believe it today. I believed it enough to where my body said, he's not gonna stop. I took all the negative things, I need to go to the hospital, this and that. And I used it all. Who the hell could even get out of that chair? You did. Who the hell would even think about taping stress fractures up? You did. All those things I used for motivation.
Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it.
I don't want to live in a hole anymore, and I'm going to do something about it.
I became obsessed with being the baddest motherfucker that God ever created. I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm not gonna stay fucking lying down. I'm not. I can't do it, man.
You kept going. You pushed through. You kept your head held high. Why was you working so hard? Because you were trying to get it.
How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? The only thing stopping us is ourselves.
Come on. Get it. 17. You don't know me, son. Get it. 18. You don't know me, son. Get it. 19. You don't know me, son. Yeah.
That's not all you got. You thought you were empty, but you got a half tank left. And that's all you need to get where you're going. You can fill up later. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Sometimes you gotta sit with the pain until the pain passes. Sometimes pain will immobilize you, but as long as you can feel it, you can push it. Without pain, without sacrifice, we have nothing. Without pain, without sacrifice, we have nothing.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have goals, but you should be grinding for grinding's sake. You know, you should grind because that's what you do. You're passionate about what you do, you know, and so you're waking up every day with this concept of, I have 24 hours and they're mine. This 24 hours belongs to me. Right. And whatever I do in this 24 hours will determine where I'll be tomorrow and the next day. And I think that's what people need to focus on.
Give me all that work. Give me all that work, my friend, because I need it. I need it to make me stronger. I need it to make me powerful. I need it to make me better, my friend. So give me all that work. Give me all that work, my friend.
And he texted me. He's like, well, Cole, what that means is that your grandparents, from living in a stone house with stone walls and a dirt floor, and then us going into the construction industry, barely making it by just so we could do 50% better than our parents, to you now living in $1 million home, impacting thousands and thousands of lives, earning 7 figures. You've taken our name from sleeping on the dirt to $1 million mansions in the course of 3 generations, and our ancestors would be proud of you. Like, that is why I work so hard. Like that, I literally got goosebumps right now. Like, that is why I f***ing grind. I'm not about this complaining bullshit. People complain about their situation and then do nothing about it, and it makes no fucking sense to me.
Please, don't give up. Remember, this is the grind. Find a way to push through the suffering and discomfort. And I promise you, there is something great waiting for you on the other side. Just keep grinding. Don't give up. This is not the time.
You don't live it like I do.
Yeah.
Like I lived it and I'm still living it. Like, do you know where I'm gonna end up?
Right.
The tippy fucking top. You know where I'm now? Upper middle. So I'm patient, I'm grinding, I'm here, I'm hustling down there, I'm fucking hustling, patient for where my, final stop is gonna be. You're just not patient. Like, if you're feeling any angst, it's because you don't love the process more than the results. You're thinking about $10,000 a month in AdSense instead of loving the fucking dirt and loving this grind moment. And the second you fall in love with the grind, for real, 19 years of it, not a month. When you fucking really fall in love with the grind and sit here, and then your talent is gonna take you where it's gonna take you.
Listen, can't nobody grind harder than his sister. If you grind equal with me, let's do it. But like Will Smith said when he was being interviewed once, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm about to die on the treadmill.
I'm gonna die on the treadmill. I'm gonna die on the treadmill. So I had no wonder. There's no more time anybody can give. I was opening the doors and shutting the doors. I would turn the light on in the morning. I would turn it out at night. I promise you, it wasn't that. It was, I know that I can touch more of me for me, not for anybody else. I had no guilt if I left this planet and I had only done what I did. I'm cool. I played full out for you, but I didn't play full out.
When you are committed, you give everything you have. Every single week, every single day, every single hour, every single minute, 720 hours a month. You are beating on your craft. Even when you're at work, you're dreaming, you're thinking, you're vision casting, you're writing it down, making it plain, communicating to your destiny connections so that it can become a reality. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. But the question I want to ask you is, are you committed?
My truth in my experience has been, I have to jump higher, I have to show up earlier, I have to be the first person to turn off the light and the last person to turn off the light. I have to make sure that every number is correct and every T is crossed and every die is dotted. The way that I show up is by being consistent, so consistent that people cannot doubt your capacity to succeed. You have to work harder than the average person, and if you accept those terms, you cannot complain about those terms. I have only known success on the back of consistency. Do I think you could be a success without being consistent? Perhaps, if you have other resources and tools that I was never given, but coming from where I am, my perspective has only been consistency, and the discipline has been everything that I have ever gotten on the back of doing it again and again and again. It is what I teach, it is what I preach, it is what I believe.
You've got to want to grind. You've got to learn to love that. You've got to learn to love to put in the work, to be proud of yourself that you showed up and put in the work, to be proud of yourself that you taught yourself how to suffer, to be proud of yourself that you're developing a mindset where you believe I can do anything I set my mind to. And by the way, once you believe that you can do anything you set your mind to without limitation, how you spend your time becomes a spiritual consideration. Know more about what you're doing than anyone else in the world, and grind, baby, grind.
It's time to wake up. Stop making excuses. Stop justifying your laziness. Stop choosing mediocrity. Wake up! Be better than who you used to be. Be better than who you are right now. Everybody else puts off everything until tomorrow, but not you. You are going to choose to be better today. You are going to push through the struggles and hardships that come up this year. You are going to grind until you are exhausted, till you feel like you have nothing more, and then grind harder.
When you get to where you want to go in life, and you finally get there, you finally reach that point, and you're there, and you're happy as hell, realize this: you're not there yet. When you get that feeling that you arrived, be afraid.
Right.
Be truly afraid, because now you start to do this. Slowly die.
It's not speed of activity, it's elimination of waste. There's all these other things that people are distracting themselves with. And so if you were that young man, you have to recognize the trade-offs that you have to be willing to make. You have to change your environment so you can change your behavior. And you have to delete everything that's not the thing that you want most. And if you can't decide what you want most, then that's what you need to do first. But once you know what you want, then go get it.
I never ran from anything because I never had nobody to go to. I've always had that, where I'm going. Home to get me. Ain't nobody there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always been in a situation where I'm forced to deal with it myself.
People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
I realized that I was blaming everybody else but myself. I was like, man, I blame the coach, my fiance, the team, the Italian manager, everybody but me. Everything I worked so hard, the American dream, gone. Lost money, lost my house, everything. And I'm like, what do I do now? I just wanted to kind of get lost. Forget about Europe, USA team and everything. I should be on my own. It was the best medicine ever, because that's where you really find yourself.
Well, it's important to recognize, because first of all, nobody is coming.
I mean, if you've been sitting around waiting for somebody to discover you, to pick you, to save you, to rescue you, to give you your shot, it's not fucking happening. Like, at some point, you got to wake up and realize when you're 18 and you're out of that house, you have to parent yourself. Your life is your responsibility.
They took everything I had. And at the end of the day, I was still standing. And once still standing on that one time where I committed myself to something. I didn't just say I was going to do it, I fucking did it. I backed my words up with action, I went for it. No matter what the cost were, I saw it through. Even though it took everything I had to crawl my way to the finish line, but I finished that line. Pride came in. Self-worth. A building block nugget of life that I could stack up to create the character of morality, integrity, and dedication to face any adversity that this fucking society throws at me. That's the seed. That's the building block that will make or break every reality dream into that forefront. It turns the dreams into a walking inspiration for others and a reality that you can put it on the mantle one day and remember yourself.
Everybody's got a story. We don't share it on social media. We share our nice life on social media. We all have a dungeon. I'm just willing to talk about mine.
Yeah.
Most of us aren't willing to talk about it. I want to talk about my dungeon. I wasn't getting into the dungeon of these guys' minds. I wasn't building that so-called mental toughness. Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day. So when something hard would happen to these kids, like in Hell Week, it would draw on something that made them very insecure. And they look for comfort. Whenever hardness comes, and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me, but you go back to your insecurities. And then when you go back to your insecurities, you then look for comfort within those insecurities. And we all look for that cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. We look for our wife or our husband. We look for comfort. It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in hell.
I got to do it all on my own now, you know? But that's the truth. I had to do it on my own, you know? Just like he did. You got to do it on your own. You got to do it on your own. You got to do it on your own.
The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, I mean, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, you know, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open, man. And it's funny, it's like, you know, I'm not saying you do it all the time and everything else, because everyone needs a release in life. But it's funny when you're coming here and you're closing the gym up, and there's no one in the parking lot except for my car.
If we don't believe we're gonna go nowhere, we won't. We'll be a statistical society. We'll believe our peers, what they'll say. Sometimes you have to separate yourself and have a strong mindset to say, I am gonna do this, I shall. It's in the speaking that we speak. We have to speak in the present tense that it shall come to us, and we have to believe. Without belief, there's no faith. Without belief, there's no tomorrow. Without belief, we can't be great. We all have greatness in us. Well, greatness is only determined by service. So apply your service and you shall see your greatness up out of yourself as well.
You will be lonely. I put a song here, Only the Lonely. You will be lonely. There will be many lonely nights. There will be many days where you're gonna sit there by yourself saying, I don't really know if this is gonna work out. There will be many days you have no one to call, no family, no friend, no girlfriend, no husband, no wife, no mom, grandma, grandpa. No one for you to call because you can't complain to any of them because you decided to become an entrepreneur. They never forced you to become an entrepreneur. You decided.
See, your mama can't do it for you. Your daddy can't do it for you. Your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, they can't do it for you. This is all on you. That one day won't happen until you become. And when I talk about become, you must become legit. You can't fake this thing. So my question is, when do you plan on becoming? Success and failure got a lot alike. Success and failure have a lot in common. Success and failure are a process. So can I ask you a question? Are you in the process of succeeding, or are you in the process of failing? Because they both are a process.
The problem is, most people don't have a plan. Or without a plan of your own life, you become the plan of someone else's life. You're not running the day's running you. The differential between those people is belief. One person with belief overrides 100 people with just intent. Intent is thought process, thinking, wargaming it, never putting a foot forward, never putting their face or their name to the fire. Belief is going after and figuring it out along the way.
And having these setbacks where I can't even run a mile, but I'm thinking about running 135. I can't run 1 mile. And what if I can win it?
Wake up! Stop sleeping on yourself. The biggest problem that you have had is not that you don't have resources. It's not that you don't have supporters. It's not that somebody doesn't believe in you. It's that you have not believed in you. Stop sleeping on yourself. Step into your authenticity. Step into your intelligence and your brilliance. Release your gift. God has given you something great. Release it.
It's a mental standard you must meet in life.
Motivation has an expiration date. And when motivation dies, discipline must take its place.
Pick something rather than nothing, or pick something rather than all things, and then set yourself to master that. You need to have a primary discipline. It's absolutely necessary to succeed in life. Now, once you have a primary discipline, then you can branch out and become a multiplicity in your disciplined approach, and then you're absolutely bloody unstoppable. But you really need that initial disciplinary routine.
It's that, having a discipline every day to say, for me to learn this one math problem, it's gonna take me 10 hours.
How bad do you want to get to that next level? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? Who are you willing to let go to get where it is that you want to be? There is a bridge from what you see in your head to what you hold in your hand. And that bridge is called discipline.
What people understand is that they live for themselves, not knowing that you have the power within yourself to change millions of lives. By facing life, by facing yourself.
Nobody wants to put in the work. Nobody wants to let go of every single distraction. Here is my question. Can you learn how to say no to what's hurting you? No to what's stopping you? No to what's hindering you? No to the people that don't believe in you?
I now know that there is no cap on the human mind. There's no cap. We cap it ourselves. Life is one big mind game, and you're playing it with yourself.
You are the issue. It's you. Your issue is you. Nobody has lied to you more than you.
My biggest fear in life is if there is a final resting place in this world, and there's a final judgment, and you talk to something much bigger than you. I don't want to sit down and have a conversation with someone, with something that says, you're in heaven, this is what you should have been on earth. And are you really in heaven now, or are you in hell?
It also makes you disciplined, and once you're disciplined, like you're like a sharpened sword, man, like a well-tempered blade, and then you can go out there and operate in the world. So, and if you haven't found your passion, then I would say, well, don't wait around till you find the damn thing, because you may never find it. Is pick something and focus on it, and if you move strongly and forthrightly towards it for a number of months at least, or even a number of years, and then you find, well, that wasn't the thing for you, it isn't going to be a waste anyways, because most of the time the pursuit of any disciplined knowledge pays off, even if it doesn't pay off in the way that you initially expect.
Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day. So when something hard would happen to these kids, like in Hell Week, it would draw on something that made them very insecure, and they look for comfort. Whenever hardness comes, and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me, but you go back to your insecurities And then when you go back to your insecurities, you then look for comfort within those insecurities. And we all look for that cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. We look for our wife or our husband. We look for comfort. It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in hell.
Discipline is found in our daily routine, our daily rituals. You may use discipline on occasion, but you're not disciplined. And there's a difference between having discipline and being disciplined. When you have discipline, you're selective. When you have discipline, you're conditional. It depends on how you feel. When you are disciplined, how you do anything is how you do everything, and everything you do, you show up at 1,000%. Everything you do, you execute with a spirit of excellence. That's what discipline looks like.
I used to speak in hollow words. I don't do it anymore. Everything that comes out of my mouth has substance. It's real. And we all have these feelings in our bodies, in our minds, in our souls. I act on mine. A lot of us who are afraid of something, we allow our minds to choose the path of least resistance, so we go a different route. When I'm afraid of something, it's telling me you must conquer that. You must do that.
Yeah.
You have to go that way. And most of us don't understand that mentality. We go left and we wonder why we haven't fulfilled something in our lives.
People tell me all the time, it's hard to get wealthy. It's hard to grind. It's hard to be focused. It's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to stay broke. It's hard to stay depressed. It's hard to stay governed by anxiety. It's hard to be inconsistent. It's hard not to have daily disciplines. It's hard not to believe in yourself. It's hard to be broke. It's hard to be poor. It's hard. It's all hard. So choose your heart. You either gonna work for it, you're gonna sit there and let life knock you down and dare you to get back up.
And no one saved me. It wasn't like someone came down here and guided me through life. When you figure this out on your own, the amount of pride and dignity and self-respect you have. That's why I walk around the streets with a backpack and just like, I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
You figure it out by going inside yourself, by callousing over the victim's mentality. You're always a victim. Even if you have everything in life, until you realize what you've achieved.
One thing I gotta tell all of you listening is you gotta kill the blame game. Stop blaming it on the person that walked out on you. Stop blaming it on the person that overlooked you. Stop blaming it on the person that undervalued you. Stop blaming it on the person that did not promote you, that did not see it, that did not believe it. Stop blaming everybody and look yourself in the mirror. And the thing you gotta ask yourself is, am I gonna repeat my history or will I blaze a new trail?
We live in a box and we don't want to go outside that box at all, ever. Outside that box is all these possibilities of life. But what we do is we shackle our mind. We are a prisoner in our own mind that this is all I can do. This is all I'm good at. And we take away the possibilities of you could be this, you could be that, you could be all these things. And I never thought at 300 pounds I could be Navy SEAL.
Wow.
So if my mind was shackled, me and you would never meet. There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be nothing.
If I were to give you one last piece of advice, in order to understand discipline, discipline is revealed in our daily routines and rituals. Discipline unfolds. If you want your future, you have to cross the bridge of discipline. If you want to get out of the room of ordinary, you have to go through the door of discipline. If you want to dig yourself out of murky, muddy water, if you want to claw your way to the top, you are going to have to climb the wall of discipline. There is no other way. I need you to tell yourself right now, there is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. The future belongs to the disciplined.